SWEGTA!
Hey everybody, I hope you're all having a pleasant November/December. In today's video, I thought we could have a look at 3 glitches that most of the community, myself included, had no idea existed. We're gonna complete all chemistry classes in one day, unlock the boxing gloves, and do the Gary boss fight anywhere we want. Side note, all of these glitches were found by a viewer of mine named CrazyAmy2000. You can find a link to their channel down below. If any of you watching have a glitch you want me to cover in a future video, then you can send it to me via email. One final note, your mileage may vary depending on which version of the game you're playing on. I will be using Scholarship Edition on PC for this video, though all of these glitches have been confirmed to work on Xbox. But with all that said, let's get into it. Number 1. Completing all chemistry classes in one day. I find this one interesting because it could potentially be used in the 100% speedrunning category for Bully. I'm not super well versed in this particular category, so to anyone out there who runs 100%, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. We're gonna begin by restarting the story. Upon entering the chaotic grounds of
Bullworth, the school.
we're gonna head into the main building and go see the principal.
Hello there, ma'am.
After the introductory cinematics are done, you'll make your way to the boys' dorm, beat up Wade using the arm bar, or whatever fighting moves you have at your disposal, meet nemesis_Gary.nif, have a soda, put on the school uniform, befriend a femboy, and then make your way back to the main building to initiate the mission, This Is Your School. From here, you'll do the mission as intended. You meet up with Gary, pay your Russell tax, commit some wealth redistribution, find Eunice, get her chocolates back, reluctantly do some smooching, and then go to the cafeteria. After the cutscene ends and the class tutorial begins, we're gonna provoke a prefect into chasing us by taunting him.
You suck!
The prefect will then bust you while you're standing on the class marker. As soon as this happens, we're gonna begin chemistry class while getting busted.
I told you I'd bring you down.
Now this is a bit convoluted, so pay attention. Getting busted is gonna reset the class tutorial, putting us back outside the cafeteria. This allows us to put the chemistry class minigame that we just started on hold. You see, right now the game is thinking, oh, chemistry class is supposed to begin, but there's currently a mission script already running, that being the class tutorial. But instead of playing them simultaneously, the game decides to wait for one to be over before automatically initiating the other one. We're gonna wait for the clock to reach 9:30, and as soon as this happens and we get a mission fail, we leave the school interior. This accomplishes a couple things. Number 1, it starts the chemistry class minigame. Number 2, it makes the class tutorial script reset as soon as the minigame ends. So from here on, we'll concoct some homemade firecrackers and pass chemistry 1.
Satisfactory work, James. I'll see you next class.
You bet.
You unlock the firecrackers and the tutorial script resets. Now we go outside and get some fresh air while we wait for the clock to reach 9:30. Area transitioning back inside after the timer's up is going to give us the ability to start chemistry class before the tutorial resets. While waiting for the clock, I decided to entertain myself by sending some very mixed social signals to the AI.
Don't pick on me.
Don't! Just don't!
You thought I was serious?
Please?
Come on, just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone!
I kind of feel bad for being such a jerk to Angie for no reason, but I'm not gonna lie, it did help pass the time. Alright, so as soon as the game tells you you've failed, go back inside and quickly begin Chemistry 2 before the script resets.
Why do I get...
Please go to your lab stations.
I know Rockstar had to cut a lot of corners when making some of these class minigames, but I always thought the detail put into chemistry class was underappreciated. The animations, camera angles, props, and especially the music all have a really nice flow. I also like how Dr. Watts wanders around the classroom while you perform a basic yet somewhat charming rhythm game. I don't know, I just like it. Definitely one of the better classes in my opinion. Okay, so now that we've completed Chemistry 2, we're gonna repeat what we just did. Go outside, wait for 9:30, head back inside, and start Chemistry 3.
We've got a lot of work before us today.
This is when they throw us a curveball by adding left trigger and right trigger. Heavy stuff, I know. But yeah, you beat the minigame, unlock itching powder, and repeat the previous step once more.
Sus.
Again, wait until 9:30, get to the classroom, and kick off Chemistry 4. Now this is when, are you ready for this? They add left bumper and right bumper, I know. The devs are out of control, they've gone mad with power.
Excellent work today, Mr. Hopkins.
Somehow surviving the rhythm game onslaught, we complete Chemistry 4 and now we have one more class to do. And seeing as this is the final one, we're gonna begin Chemistry class as you normally would. I should mention that you may experience an infinite loading screen. This might seem scary, but as you can see, thanks to a bug from the graphics mod that I'm using, the game doesn't actually pause during loading, meaning that all you have to do to get past it is wait for a prefect to busted warp you to class. Chemistry 5, are you ready?
LOL!
Pour in some of this green stuff, add some other green stuff, check the pH value, add a dash of salt, and voila! You've made Sprite!
The coursework is done, gentlemen. You may go. Those of you with a keen interest in the subject may return and do work for extra credit.
Despite playing for less than 20 minutes and only having completed roughly 3% of the game, we've passed all 5 chemistry classes on day 1. You can now get full refills of firecrackers, stink bombs, and itching powder anytime you want, however many times you want. Number 2, unlocking the boxing gloves. For this glitch, we'll be using the Chapter 2 Prep Challenge mission to unlock the boxing gloves. You'll also need to play the game at 30 FPS. I'll explain why as we go on. If you're using Silent Patch, then you can limit the frame rate to 30 by changing this cute little setting here. If you're playing on a modified bully.exe with an unlocked frame rate, then you can use an application like DxTory to manually set the maximum FPS. Once you've limited the frame rate to 30, boot up the game and get some firecrackers. Begin by removing most of your health and then navigate to the boxing gym. By the way, make sure it's past 7 PM. This is very important. Once inside, light up a firecracker and knock yourself out while you're running up against the wall near the prep challenge mission marker. I suggest using this method instead of jumping over the firecracker since the walls in this interior, for whatever reason, tend to swallow throwables. As soon as you've knocked yourself out, pay close attention to Jimmy's animation. When he touches his face like this, start the mission. After you've been teleported to the infirmary, you'll need to quickly make your way to the bus stop, wait a couple seconds, and then take the bus back to the academy. On the screen, you'll see roughly the amount of time needed to properly initiate this glitch. This is how long I took before pressing Y to trigger the bus. Timing is key, so make sure you don't do it too soon or too late. This can result in the game either crashing or the mission starting normally, thus preventing you from performing the glitch. You don't have to do it at the exact same amount of time as I did in this clip, just try to keep it between 8 and 9 seconds. The reason we play the game at 30 frames per second is to give us enough time to get to the bus stop. Simply put, playing the game at a higher frame rate will heavily decrease the amount of time you have before the prep challenge intro cutscene plays. With that said, if you timed it correctly, then the opponents will be unable to attack. You might also notice that the FOV is different. From here on, you'll need to knock out Chad, Justin, and Parker. Here's a fun little bonus glitch on PC. If you're using right trigger or left mouse button to attack, then your opponents will be unable to block any of your punches. After the following cutscene ends, you'll see the school bus cutscene play. You'll then be dropped off at the academy. Basically what we've done is delay the start of the mission script by knocking Jimmy out and, with good timing, use the school bus feature to regain control of Jimmy as soon as the boxing minigame ended, allowing us to move him during the beach house unlocking cutscene. Immediately, we're gonna run over to the bed and go to sleep. If you don't do this fast enough, then the mission will end as it normally does, and Jimmy's outfit will reset to whatever you had on before initiating prep challenge. Falling asleep, be it on a bed or by passing out, will interrupt any activity you're doing. This enables us to trick the game into canceling the end of the mission script, causing Jimmy to be left inside the clubhouse with the boxing gloves on. Once you wake up, you can save the game if you want. The wardrobe, however, is locked. Again, we technically haven't finished the mission yet, since we interrupted the ending of the script by going to bed. This also means that the beach clubhouse hasn't been unlocked yet. Therefore, prep challenge will need to be completed normally. But before we do that, we're gonna get back to the academy, head into the boys' dorm, open up the wardrobe clothing menu, and save this as a custom outfit. Okay, so at this point, I recommend saving and quitting the game, changing the FPS back to 60, and then booting up the game again. From here on, you can complete prep challenge as intended, thus earning you the beach clubhouse and the regular version of the boxing outfit. But yeah, there you have it. You can select custom outfit if you want to have the gloves on, or boxing outfit if you don't want to have them on. Number 3, fighting Gary anywhere. The Gary Smith boss fight has an excellent location, but let's say you wanted a change of scenery. This can be achieved by utilizing the so-called spaceship glitch that I covered in one of my previous Breaking Bully videos. Let's begin by starting Chapter 5's Complete Mayhem. And in case you haven't seen it before, here's what Zoe looks like in her winter outfit during the cutscene. Horrifying, I know. It's interesting because it goes to show that Rockstar at some point had intended for you to see her during a Chapter 3 cutscene. Either that or winter took place in Chapter 5. Your guess is as good as mine. At any rate, go find Russell inside the Wonder Meats meat processing plant.
Jimmy!
Is there a problem, Russell? Fun fact, after the two of you have escaped the police and Jimmy delivers his voice line, you can actually control Jimmy for a couple seconds.
No one's gonna hurt you! Thanks, Jimmy.
Come on, we gotta get to the school. All hell's breaking loose.
Russell doesn't deserve it at all, but I love doing that. Once you're at the school and Russell has opened the gate, navigate to the boys' dorm. As I mentioned, we'll be utilizing the spaceship glitch for this one. Walk up to the future Street Racer arcade machine, start the minigame, and then cancel out of it. This is gonna put the mission script on pause, and remove Russell as a bodyguard, allowing you to knock him out. Doing so will trigger a mission fail, causing us to be placed back at the school gate alongside Russell and the Townies. But before that happens, we're gonna use the arcade machine again and get into a racing minigame while the mission script sends us back to the gate. Like before, thanks to the graphics mod that I'm using, you can see that the game is not actually paused during this. Alright, so from here, you're gonna need to be precise in your movements. Hurry on over to the girls' dorm and wait for Gurney to run inside. As he opens the door, we're gonna push the spaceship through the area transition point and teleport into the dorm. And if you, for whatever reason, mess this up, you can press the jump button, exit out of the minigame, and that's gonna bring you back to the arcade machine in the dorm. At that point, you can repeat the previous steps once again and reset back to the gate. Once inside, you'll take out the greasers. By the way, check this out. I don't know how to explain that. I just love janky 2000s video game physics. Next up, make your way to another faction and take out some more clique members. I decided to take on the nerds after the jocks, and something interesting happened. I want you to pay close attention to the nerds on the screen. And before you say, oh, okay, lol, you swag, no, actually pay attention. You see that? I have no idea how, but Bucky completely vanished as soon as I had my back turned. If I had to venture a guess, I'd say he despawned because of the camera angle. I know some of the knocked out animations will result in the character despawning if you turn your back to them, but in this moment, my immediate thought was, oh, I guess Russell consumed him. Using a baseball bat and a couple of cricket bats, I made quick work of the preps and met up with Edgar inside the main building. I should mention that there is about a 25% risk that the game will crash once you enter the main building, so if that happens, then my condolences. After Russell has chased away the normies and the big showdown between Jimmy and Gary happens, you'll just need to follow Gary all the way up to the school bell tower. Following one of the best cutscenes in the game, the boss fight will begin. Now, once the cutscene is over and you're fighting Gary on the platform, press jump and end the arcade race minigame. This will teleport both you and Gary back to the boys' dorm. There are a few relevant details to note here. First off, the script used for Gary's boss fight is still running, hence why you can see his health bar. Secondly, Gary is still using his boss style, which was not at all intended to be seen outside of where you fight him. This can result in some strange stuff happening, like Gary doing whatever the hell this is. I think he got locked into some kind of dodging animation or blocking or whatever the hell that is. You can hear the sound in the background, right? Third of all of the weapons that you had on you are missing since you're not supposed to use them during the fight. They've been confiscated by Seth. However, weapon and pickup spawns are still accessible. Fourthly, all factions except the bullies and the townies are hostile towards Jimmy and Gary. Fifth of all, Gary's fighting style doesn't allow him to pull you out of hiding spots. So if you hide in a trash can, then he's just gonna menace and fruitlessly try to attack you. And finally, if Gary gets knocked out or busted by another ped, then the platforms back at the school will break. But since Gary and Jimmy are not there to trigger the end of the fight, you'll end up getting soft-locked until the game crashes. This is a really odd sentence, but just for the lulz, I decided to throw Gary off a bridge. Surprisingly, he did not only survive the fall, but also didn't seem at all too bothered about me Goomba stomping him on my way down. In case you don't know, this area doesn't have any navigation nodes for NPCs, so he has no idea how to move around. I climbed my way up, took a bus to school, and then sometime later after getting bored, I returned to find that he had gotten stuck underneath the ground. This is because areas along with their collision will despawn if you're too far away, so simply put, he fell through the ground when I took the bus. Anyway, as promised, you can now take Gary anywhere you like, provided his AI knows how to follow you around. You can lead him to the boxing gym and fight him there if you wanted to. Here's another cool moment I caught while recording this. As you can see, Gord not only blocked my firecracker with an egg mid-air, but in doing so, he managed to do quite a bit of damage on me. I should also mention that there's something you should be very careful with. Occasionally, Gary will try to grab you, and if he gets close enough, then it's gonna teleport both you and him back to the platform. If this happens, then you'll have to either load a save or complete the fight normally. As I led him to blue skies for a special surprise, I noticed something else that I had never seen before. Apparently, Gary has the ability to perform one of Jimmy's kicks. I don't think I've ever seen him do that during the fight, so that was cool. I also found Zoe along the way. She hasn't been re-enrolled as a student at the academy yet, so she just kind of hangs out in Blue Skies in the meantime. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, right. Okay, so considering that I wanted Gary to really face the consequences of his actions, I thought it'd be fitting to have him get busted by a Happy Vault's orderly. It makes sense. He turned the school into complete chaos, so there you go, put him in the asylum. For some reason, asylum orderlies don't spawn outside while this mission is running, but they do spawn inside the asylum. So I climbed my way onto asylum grounds, led Gary around the fence, and lured him near the interior entrance doors. Unfortunately, his AI doesn't know how to follow you inside. I even tried throwing him at the doors and entering while he was right next to me, but to no avail. Another interesting discovery I made during this is that Gary, strangely enough, is immune to spud gun shots. But on the flip side, he's not at all immune to bottle rockets. Seeing as how this orderly idea failed, I lured him out of the asylum all the way over to Spencer Shipping. Now, as you can see, Gary will sometimes play the same animation that Russell does when he's trying to perform the Boston Crab move on you during his boss fight. It's a recycled animation, but it's also a big red flag. You see, this is when Gary will try to grab you, and again, if he does that, then you'll be back at the academy in a soft-locked state. So if you see him doing this animation, then just avoid him at all costs. After redoing the glitch one final time, I brought Gary all the way to the carnival for a fun day out. While there, I couldn't resist hopping on the roller coaster and going for a ride while Gary patiently waited outside. We then checked out the attractions in the freak show tent, placed a bet on the fighting little people, and I bought a brand new hat in Aquaberry. Very nice, very stylish. And ultimately, I decided to wrap up this fun day out by having us both go for a swim. Gary seemed a bit reluctant at first, and I understand why. It's winter, so yeah. But eventually I got him to join me for a swim near the beach clubhouse. You know, for a while he seemed really into it. This is when I made another interesting, but for this video, my final new discovery. Evidently, his spud gun immunity doesn't apply when he's in water, so I ended up soft-locking the game. All in all though, this is probably one of the most bizarre and fun game-breaking glitches that Bully has to offer. Like I said at the beginning of this video, all of these exploits are possible on Xbox and PC. But if any of you want to test and see if these glitches work on Android, iOS, PlayStation, or Wii, then feel free to share your experiences in the comment section below. If you're interested in learning more about different glitches and exploits in Bully, then I'd highly recommend checking out the Breaking Bully playlist, link down below, and of course, subscribe for more Bully and Rockstar Games content. Anyway, that's it for this video. You folks, as always, stay classy. Peace. Big thank you to my channel members for supporting what I do on YouTube. Ben Struble, Orgrimsrud, Jacoby, Yippee, GreenX, Riley Who, Wordog, Zarpies, XX2, BardyX Official, Majin151, Wired Uwu, Trigger Happy, Cartel 14, Volts, Golden Stripes, Sean Assassino, Don Hatter, Christian Skoofgard Nielsen, Mr. Synonym, Vader89GG, URL Ratalada, Josh Matheson, Jilly Owls, Doomer Crusader, Xenia, Fetic, Board Gamer, Jilly Cat Cosplay, Jordy, Fuba Punk, Introvert Keep Calm, Jordy's Den, Chidu, Ryan Chaffin, XKicks GX, Jokara, 84, Matthias OBF, Raft, Osman, Ramon ZZ, Jinx Loop, Wayne, Aaron, Joe Johnson, and Jever. I really appreciate the support, especially now that I'm working on this massive project. In due time, I will have an update on it, but for the time being, thank you for your support. I hope you all have an awesome day. Take care, and peace out.